history lovers. We're on to part 2 of the Battle of Valcour Island, of the 22 battles of the American Revolution, which, as I said, you can go to the playlist and see all of them, after which we'll have a test game. So basically, where we left off, British General Carleton is coming down Lake Champlain with 30 ships and boats, planning to attack Fort Crown Point and Fort Ticonderoga, basically take over the Hudson Valley. Arnold has built a pretty scrappy fleet to go meet him. He can't meet him on the open lake because he's half the size, so he hides behind Valcour Island. And the idea, as we said, was he's hiding behind this island. Here comes Carleton's men, and they're going to have to turn their ships while they're being basically fired at by Arnold, which gives him the advantage. So even though he's smaller, it's a tactical advantage. So what happens next is fascinating. So Arnold takes a beating, a pretty serious beating, because remember, Carleton's fleet is twice as big. They have a long, drawn-out battle. Finally, fog and darkness fall, and Arnold's fleet has clearly lost this battle. So what Carleton thinks is, oh well, pretty much I've got him trapped. I've got all my men. He's stuck behind this island. We'll just leave him there overnight. And he told his men, keep him trapped basically. And as soon as morning comes, we'll just go get them. So what Arnold does, and remember I used the word chutzpah, which is a word my mom used a lot, meaning a bold person. Arnold has this in spades. Yes, he becomes a traitor, but he has got chutzpah. So what he does is, he actually, during the night, so it's all dark and foggy, there's an entire, remember, 30 ships Carleton has. He manages to muffle his oars, think a little bit of Paul Revere way back when, but basically gets all of his remaining ships basically past Carleton and slips away. So when Carleton wakes up in the morning, Arnold and his entire fleet are gone, which is amazing itself. So basically Carleton, though, bigger ships, faster, they chase Arnold, and eventually they do catch up with him. There's a second smaller battle. More ships are lost for Arnold. He goes to the shoreline and burns the remaining boats so they can't fall into the British hands, and then escapes overland all the way to Ticonderoga. So why this all matters is, by the time Carleton then gets to Ticonderoga, not only were the original soldiers there, but now the remainder of Arnold's people are there as well. And it's getting cold, and there's a concern that the lake could freeze behind Carleton, which means he wouldn't have a supply line. So Carleton, being cautious, decides to turn around and go back, ironically, to Quebec. If you remember, that's where Arnold had his failed attack earlier. So the good thing for the colonists then, or for the Continental Army, was that it would be a whole nother year before they would do their invasion, which this time will be under Burgoyne, and that gave them more time to prepare. Anyway, thanks for listening. That is the Battle of Valcour Island.